Hey everybody, today I'm going to be swapping out the seats and carpet inside this 4runner that I bought from the auction. This thing's got 140,000 miles or so on it. It's 99, and I want to jump into getting that process started. I'm going to be putting some leather seat covers on here, new carpet. This carpet is busted, see all that nonsense. So I want to spruce this interior. I'm going to try and get rid of this wood grain too. See if I can heat this with a heat gun to remove this. Seems like it's just adhesive on the dash. Hopefully it's not ruined under there. But to remove this driver's seat, you got 4 14mm bolts. I'm going to be using a drill. You could also use a ratchet or drive. Might need an extension. So I've got that. You've got some plugs up underneath the seat. It looks like, I have no idea what this plug was plugged up to. He said this came from the auction. So someone has maybe already been messing with. There's another plug back there that's not plugged up. And there's one more right here where my hand is. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little dark. But I'm gonna unplug. So unplug all your plugs, because if you don't unplug them, the seat's not coming out. Just pay attention to where they go. All right, and then we're gonna hit these 14mm bolts. I'm gonna do that on both sides. There's potentially plugs on the passenger side as well. So just undo the plugs for 14mm bolts. One thing I forgot to mention on the seats is there are these covers, and you have to slide the seat forward to reveal these rear bolts and these covers. You see, get the camera in here. There's another one right there. It's going to be the same on the passenger side. So these covers, you just kind of wiggle them off. They have like little hooks on them. So this one, I just pulled from the inside with my index finger that direction. It just pops right off. And I think the other one is going to be very similar. Let's see. Get the camera in there. Yeah, just pulled from the top and it pops right off. And you got to slide the seat forward to reveal those bolts, so keep that in mind. The bolts are on here. They're torqued pretty good, so they probably come like that from the factory. So I had to break them loose with a ratchet and then hit them with the drill to make my life a little easier. So the fronts do have covers. Here's the passenger side. They're missing on the driver's side of this vehicle. Good to know. They probably pull off the same though. Let's see. Yeah, just grabbed it. That one actually pulled in with my thumb. This guy, let's see. No, I'm gonna pull it maybe from down here. Oh yeah, I pulled it again with my thumb right here. Pulled it up towards the center console. Comes right off. Let's see, electrical. There's gonna be some plugs underneath here. There's a guy. You can figure out where the button is. They just have little buttons you have to press. There it goes. And I believe that's it. I missed a few connectors on this driver's side. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 2 that I thought were disconnected were actually not disconnected. I just couldn't see their attachment point. They just depress. They're just little clips that you either push down, or this one I think I had to lift up a little claw to remove it. This is from the previous owner. I don't know what any of this is. Pictures, receipts. That'll all get trashed. Now we're gonna move on to the rear. We've got the same clips, or not clips, excuse me, moldings here. Gonna reveal some bolts. I'm just kind of pulling these to the side with my fingers, and they come right off, like so. That one's missing. These are also 14mm. We've got to loosen those and remove those. Actually, I should double check. Let's make sure that they are actually 14mm before I go saying that. They are not 14mm. Just kidding. Let's see. What size are they? Is that a 12? They're 12s. These are not 14 millimeter in the rear. 12 millimeter. Correction. So those four are 12 millimeter. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen those up. Now that the lower portion of the seats are out, that reveals more bolts for the upper section here. So you got two over here, two right here. These are also 12 millimeter. I think you can get to 6 of them with the ratchet, but there's one hidden up here that you have to lower the seat and then pull this carpet up, and then you probably can't see it. It's right there on my middle finger. Hit that with a wrench, box wrench. Hit that. So that one might be slow going, but if anybody knows a trick for getting that out, I've only done this one other time and I had to use a box wrench, so that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull this rear carpet up because it's attached to the back of the seat, and if I flip the carpet up, I think I'll get more access to that last bolt. But I got to undo these Phillips heads along here. The carpet slots into these D-rings, so I've got to unslot it from there, and then I should be able to flip the carpet up. When you're removing this plastic trim in the rear, it goes right here. To reveal the carpet, you've got to do Phillips head bolts, but the bolts also have clips along the edges. So grab as close to the clip as you can and then wiggle side to side as you pull up, and that'll ensure that you don't break any of these. It just pops right up. You have to pull with a little bit of force, but like I said, when you feel the pressure of the clip, like you don't want to pull in the middle here because you're not close to the clip. So get your hand as close to the clip as you can. You'll feel the clip, wiggle and pull up, and it'll come right out. Next, we're going to tackle these moldings by your feet. There's going to be 4 of these. It's going to be at each door. You've got to remove the Phillips head screws and then wiggle them up to pop the clips in the same way that I had to do in the rear. Also have to remove these kick panels in the front on the passenger side and the driver's side over there. Pretty sure these pull straight back. I'm gonna grab this hole right here and just pull it. Nope, that's not gonna work. Let's see. Go in between the molding here. Let's see. Okay, so maybe you have to pull this front section out towards the inside of the vehicle and then pull straight back, because see, you have this clip here that just slots into this plastic, so you pull it straight back after you get this guy loose. Let's try that on the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna pull in towards the inside of the vehicle and then try and come straight back. Yep, that's the way to do it, because it releases this clip. This one actually looks like it pulls straight back no matter what, because this actually looks like it should just come straight back, because I put a lot of pressure on that plastic. Didn't break it, luckily, but there you go. Those have to come off, because on each side the carpet is hooped through this metal tab, so you have to pull those off. The next thing we're going to do is remove the center console, and you've got a push pin here, which you can take like a screwdriver or a pry tool. I like a little pick tool, and you push that button in and then lift up on this outer edge, and that'll remove that. Then you've got the Phillips head here, and some change in here covering these bolts, I hope you can see that. Those look like 10 millimeters. Let's see. Here's a 10. They are in fact 10 millimeters. You probably have to put the e-brake on too. I think because of the way the console lifts up, you have to slide the e-brake up and out after you remove all these other pieces. And these plastic moldings, they just pry up. They're just clipped in, so you could use a plastic pry tool, interior tool, and just pop those up. And I can't remember if there was anything in the back. See, cup holders. We might have to do these two Phillips head inside the cup holder as well. I'm gonna remove them just because you know, may not be necessary, but I'll just pull them off. It's not hard to pull them off. And then I'm gonna lift up on all this plastic trim to get more access. Center console is out. I still got to do this push in. Let's see. Pop that in, pull out like that. There you go. Get it out. These are very valuable if you're doing interior stuff. Get a set. They're cheap. They work great. They'll last for a while. I mean, sometimes like the tip of this one bent. I actually kind of like that the tip is bent. It helps me. So the other side, the clip is actually missing, so I don't have to worry about that. And also the two Phillips head inside the cup holder did not have to come out. The cup holder could have stayed in the center console, so you don't have to take that out if you don't want to. I'm gonna start wiggling on this. I don't even really have to fully take that off. I just need room for the carpet to clear, so I'm just gonna leave it loose like that. I'm not worried about it. Here's what it looks like inside there. The grime pen, looks like that's an alcohol wipe. There's a bunch of hair. Somebody spilled a drink. Here's this burnt up wire. I guess they had an issue with, I don't know what that is. I mean, it's 8 gauge. See, it says 8 gauge wire right there. I don't know if this is a ground wire overheating or if this was a positive wire that was overheating. I'm not that good with electrical and stereo systems. I have installed them before, but I don't know what would cause this. I've never had an issue like this, so something must have been wired incorrectly. Oh yeah, so you can see the other wire. It's completely chewed up and melted into the carpet. Wow, this is like a fire waiting to happen. Probably started smoking in here and somebody probably panicked. I mean, look at that, it's completely melted. Look at all the sand and the dirt, the grime. Those are French fries, bunch of hair, spilled drinks. Like this looks like some type of soda was spilled up here. There's a bunch of stains in the carpet. From here, we've got to remove that other metal tab, the carpet from the metal tab, and I should be able to pull the whole carpet out, but I've got to get all these trim pieces out and get my tools out and get the center console out. That'll make my life a lot easier. From here, the carpet should be ready to come out. The only thing to remember is the two metal tabs at the front. You have to slot it through that. The rest of it is just tucked under trim, so if you pull away from the trim, it will come right out. I do remember in the front doors, there are going to be clips in the carpet right here. Let's see, where is it? Right here, here it is, this one. You have to push this in and lift up, which it might be easier to do with a screwdriver or something. Yeah, I might have to pop that with a screwdriver. It's hard to do with one hand. There's gonna be one of those on the driver's side as well. Other than that, should come right out. Well, this is no good. they cut the floor. When you install the upgraded injector kit for the supercharger, you have to put a bigger fuel pump or a higher pressure fuel pump inside the gas tank. The proper way to do it is to drop the gas tank. They decided to cut the floor open to gain access to that fuel pump. So this is already starting to rust a little bit, surface rust. And you can see where they made a bunch of cuts just trying to guess where to get into the gas tank. So it's a miracle they didn't slice through a bunch of stuff and ruin stuff. Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna try and fix this. I'm gonna put some JB weld on here and get this back sturdy. I would like to sand the edges down and get all the surface rust off and get it back solid, because otherwise moisture and stuff can just come up in below the seats here. So I got to make a trip to the store before I clean the rest of this interior out. I want to vacuum it and get all the extra dirt and sand and all the goop around the shifter. Go ahead and clean that up pretty good. Most of it's going to be covered, but I would like to get it clean. This is kind of holding me up though. I need to get this done before I can put the carpet in. So I'm going to the store. Now that the carpet is fully out and I've repaired the cut sheet metal here, I'm going to go through this and vacuum all the dirt that I can get to and wipe up any goop up there around the shifter. There's probably a spilled drink or two, and just get this thing prepped so I can reinstall the carpet and the seats. So for now I'm going to put you guys in time-lapse mode, and I'm just going to start vacuuming and cleaning. The installation of everything is just going to be the reverse of what I did. You'll lay the carpet out flat. You need to run all your electrical through the holes, which is just by the front two seats. You have to run those electrical up through the holes, cut in the carpet, and remount the seats. If there's anything in particular that I run into that might cause issue, I'll stop and talk about it. But for now, I'm just going to do time lapse so I can get this thing cleaned up. Whew, starting to get dark out here. Hopefully this footage turns out. Let me grab one of these lights. When you're tightening these down, really on all these seats, one thing that I found really helpful is to not torque them all the way down. Get all 4 bolts started and then torque them down so you avoid stripping them, and it makes them a lot easier to line up the holes. I'm gonna set up the time lapse and try and record the rear seats going in, but it's getting dark real quick, so I don't know if you'll be able to see anything, but I'm gonna give it a shot. on these rear seats, same thing, just finger tighten the bolts. They're kind of hard to see now, but I showed you earlier where they are. Finger tighten the bolts. Do these 4 in the middle, the lower one on the outside, the lower one over here, and then what I do to help make it easier to line the brackets up is I click the seat in. So this, you know, it slides forward like this. I go ahead and click it in before I've screwed anything. That way this will actually hold the seat kind of close to where it needs to be for everything to line up. And then when you're working on this final bolt down in there, which I know is hard to see, you kind of have to wiggle the back of the seat. I found that maybe 1/4 of the way down, so I would like pull the seat and maybe go like 1/4 of the way and then screw that down. But these are a little tricky. They just it'd be easier with a second hand, but it's definitely possible. So I'm gonna put the lowers in and hopefully get this thing finished up. That's gonna do it for this video, everybody. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Today we removed the front and rear seats in this 4runner, put some new carpet in it, and got everything put back together. This carpet looks way better. I'm gonna show you here. I know all my tools are down there, but it is much cleaner. You saw before the burnt up wire all in the carpet, so that's taken care of. This thing smells better already. I still need to clean up these seats, do a lot more recon on it. But I hope you found this video helpful. Again, I really appreciate you watching. Please stay tuned for more Toyota content. I've got a lot of other vehicles that I'm working on. If you feel inclined, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments, or if you got any questions, just hit me up. Yeah. All right. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Y'all stay healthy. Peace.